Hey everyone, what's up? So I've had another green day today. Second green day in a row, second green day of the week, and it's another good one. So we've overachieved on the daily goal again. We traded once again. We traded 7 stocks today, so we're doing a little bit more trading activity. I thought today was going to be another quiet day. Pre-market, it was very quiet and low volume, low volatility. We didn't even take any trades pre-market, but then we got into the market. We took a few trades, got faked out like 3 times in a row. So we were down about $2,000 at one stage. So took a little step back. Came back around lunchtime market times, about 12 o'clock market time, and things just like yesterday, things were starting to pick up around the midday. And in terms of volume, in terms of volatility, the moves, it really, things just started to explode over the kind of lunchtime period. Now that is kind of strange because typically, from my experience of trading, the lunchtime period is usually where you get the lull, not where you get the volume and the activity. But this last couple of days, that's where the activity has been happening. We traded AMC again. We got $500 out of AMC. We traded Direct Digital. We actually lost nearly $3,000 on Direct Digital. We traded County again. So that's a ticker GOEV. Direct Digital is DRCT, and we traded PGY, and that was moving up. I don't know what the catalyst was, but that moved up really well. Very volatile stock. We traded RIOT blockchain as well, and that was moving up on just general crypto strength or sympathy with Bitcoin strength. We traded SIDU space again. Small win on SIDU space. We got $100 on SIDU space, but the big gainer for us, we actually got over $10,000 up. We were at one stage was TBLT, which is a short squeeze candidate. So last year, everybody's familiar with the whole meme stock and AMC, GameStop, and what actually happened last year. GameStop was, and a whole bunch of other meme stocks in addition. GameStop moved up quite considerably from kind of like $30, $40 all the way up to in excess of $500 per share on the back of a short squeeze. Well, the numbers that GameStop had at the time are similar to what TBLT has right now. So TBLT, 132% short interest. That means that there's more shares that are wanting to be shorted than there are available. So a short squeeze, all we need is effectively a little bit of a push, and then the shorts start to cover, and it adds to the buying pressure, and it moves it up. So that was the big mover for us today, and I'll go into that trade, and I'll also touch on the PGY trade as well. So let's talk about the TBLT trade. First, so as I say, we came back from walking the dog, and it started to move up. It had been trading sideways. It actually moved up, and then it started trading sideways. Broke above the VWAP, consolidating around that level, then started to make a move up. So we were able to get in here 390 for this pullback, if you will, this consolidation period. We were able to get it at 390 and then move up, and we got $6,000 on the move up. We got stopped out on the way back. Then it started to move up again. So we got in here on the move back up. So at this stage, we're in for about $9,000 when it started to pull back, and we started to move back down. We did get in again. We missed this move, but on the second move up, we got in here to reach the highs. We were in at one stage a little over $10,000 in profits, and then we got in the top here, and as we look to move up, we added to our position, and it moved back. So we actually got stopped out on this particular position. We then started to look for a move up. So I got in here for next candle making a new high here. We lost a little bit there, so we were back above $10,000 by the time this came back, and then I got caught with this flush here, and we lost over $2,000 on this flush here. So that put us back down to kind of 7,400. That was the last trade that actually that I did with ToughBuilt, and it did flush again a little bit later. It came all the way down to the VWAP, bounce started to consolidate, and then flushed again down to almost the whole dollar. So kind of finding support at $4. It did make a little bit of a rally later, but I'd finished trading it at that stage. So this is another lesson in putting stops in place. I didn't actually have a stop in place with this at the time, and as it started to flush, I exited quickly, which then added to the momentum. So I got a lot of slippage on the. I actually used my panic button to get out. I got a lot of slippage, so that's why we lost almost $2,500 on that one flush there. So ToughBuilt still $7,500 on ToughBuilt alone. Meant that that one stock was more than our daily goal. So happy with the gains. Let's talk about that's the dog. Shut up, dog. So let's talk about Gaia Technologies. So this was a recent IPO from back in mid-June, and had some volatility earlier this week, some real significant volatility earlier this week, and then today, at 10 o'clock, it started to move up. It moved up into a halt, gapped up quite considerably on relatively low volume as well at the time, but it's moving up into a halt. Then it pulled all the way back and then started to, so it's very, very volatile. I looked at this when I came back, and we traded this move up. So it started to be probably a little bit less volatile on this pullback. It started to make a move up. We got in here, we rode it up, got stopped out on the way back down. It did consolidate, and then there was a breakout that we managed to get. Again, we got stopped out on the way back down because we were using trailing stops at the time. So we got stopped out at around $6, just under $6. That's all we traded with Pagaya. It did make it a move. I'd locked my montage, so I started the live stream for Power Hour on TikTok and YouTube and Twitch, and I'd locked my montage after I gave back the $2,500 on ToughBuilt. I thought, okay, I'm giving no more back to the market. We were $8,500 up on the day. It's more than 1.5 times the daily goal. There was some good volatility, some good moves, but I thought, okay, I'm not going to give any more back. I'm over goal. I'm going to be disciplined. I'm going to come back for it. And then we started the live stream, started to get a move up, and I was thinking, maybe I should just trade this. No, I won't. If it breaks over $6, I might just do that. And it broke over $6, had a little pullback, and then started to move up. And I'm thinking maybe I should trade that. And it moved up to over the $0.50, $6.50. I'm thinking, okay, I'm not going to do that. I started to talk about other things. I was talking through my trade on ToughBuilt on the live stream, and meanwhile, this just broke out. And it moved up from 640s, 630s, 640s, all the way up to $8, $8.10. And just as quickly as it went up, it came all the way back down to under $6 again. So whilst I didn't trade any of this, you could see the volatility that it actually had. It was really good. I know that a couple of people that I was talking with on the live stream managed to catch this. But the moves were good. This is the 2-minute chart, but the moves were fairly clean. So if you got in on this pullback, you would have caught most of the move. You got in on the second pullback here and caught a really good portion of the move. even the third pullback and the fourth pullback were good moves, and you got a good portion of that. So what I'm finding at the moment, what I'm trying to say here is that my statistics since I started trading tell me that I make most of my money between 10 and 11. So between 9:30 when the bell opens and 10:30 is really when I make most of my money. So that 30 minutes between 10 and 11, 10 and 10:30 is probably the most. But my statistics say between 10 and 11. It's based on the hour. The next after that is between 8 and 9. So it's really the opening hour of the market that I make most of my money. That's where the most volume is, and that's where the most volatility is historically. Now, this last 2 weeks, there's been a die-off. It's been a bit of a cold market. It's been a die-off in the volume. The volatility's not really been there. We've had a couple of exceptions to the rule, a couple of good runners. Today, for example, PGY moved up over 100% on the day. It was an incredible move, almost about 150% in there by the time the market closed it at its peak. So what I'm finding at the moment in the last couple of weeks is that the volatility is coming in as the volume is dying out. So we're getting the volume at the open like we always do, and we get a little bit of volatility. We're getting the moves, but we're not getting the follow through. And that's really worrisome if you're looking to make your money in that first hour or so. However, what I'm finding is now what historically has been the lull in the market, that lunchtime period between 12 and 2 p.m. market time, is usually when it dies down. The volume dies off, the volatility, and it just becomes a bit sideways normally. However, this last couple of weeks, that's when everything started to move. So we're getting volatility. The volume isn't reaching the peaks of the opening bell, but the volume is coming in and we're getting the volatility and the big moves. And we're getting the moves with follow through. So maybe it's worthwhile just watching the markets even throughout the day. If you're trading and you hit your goal early doors, then walk away while you're ahead. If you don't find anything to trade, what I'm finding is it's worth being patient. It really is worth just being patient, waiting for something to happen during the day. The midday session, sometimes you get news breaks at 12 p.m., 1 p.m. at the top of the hour. And that can cause a little bit of volatility on an individual stock. But what I'm seeing over the last couple of days in particular is that we're getting a lot more volume in as the break of the afternoon starts, so between 12 and 1. And that in itself is causing a bit more volatility. So today, another good day, 8,500. It's certainly above goal. That puts us well ahead for the week. And Tesla earnings were after hours today. I was going to potentially thought about taking a trade on Tesla, maybe buying some calls, and I'm glad I didn't, because if we look at Tesla right now, so let's have a look at Tesla and what actually happened. I was thinking about the calls, buying calls here. If I had done, I would have had to have bought them at the end of the market before the market closed, and then wait till tomorrow, because you can't trade options outside of the market. Not like we can trade equities, that trade the stocks themselves in pre and post market. You can't trade options. It's only in open market hours that you can trade the options. I was thinking about options and maybe trading, buying a couple of calls, but I'm glad I didn't, because I got excited as the price point moved up and it went up about $35–40. That would put me well in the money if I was thinking about maybe a 750 call or 760 call. It would put me well in the money, and unfortunately, it sold off just as quickly. So over the course of the Tesla earnings call, it's now kind of sideways moving from where it closed, and the market can be like that sometimes, and we wouldn't have been able to take advantage of that. The only other way to have taken advantage of that is to actually buy the stock and ride that up. Now, I could have bought a couple of hundred based on my equity. I could have bought maybe a couple of hundred shares and rode that up. Don't have the leverage that I have in the open market as I would in the post market. The overnight margin is less, so I wouldn't have been able to use the leverage to get a big position, but maybe could have got a couple of $1,000s worth of profits on that move. I'm not too worried about missing a move, like we're saying with Pangaya Technologies when we missed this move. It's okay just to watch it and learn from it. And if you miss it, it doesn't really matter. So there's always going to be another trade, another stock, another day. And if you finish red, you can make it back tomorrow or over the course of the next couple of days. If you finish green, you can add to that. There's always another trade to make. So don't succumb to FOMO just because something's moving. Okay. With that being said, I will be back at it tomorrow, 90 minutes before the market opens. So remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I'm going live, or when I drop another video like this or an educational tutorial video. Hit the notification bell. If you've enjoyed this trade recap, hit the thumbs up button. It really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm. And in the meantime, I'm going to finish up and back at it tomorrow, 90 minutes before the market opens, which is 8 o'clock East Coast or market time. It's 1 p.m. Where I'm based in Dublin, which is UK, and it's 2 p.m. on the continent of Europe. So I'll hopefully see you then. Come join us, contribute in the chat, and hopefully you may learn some more about trading. Look forward to speaking to you then. See you soon.